Good afternoon, everyone. I believe we are ready to start the presentation now. My name is Nuno. I'm a technical account manager here at Effisus. And today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about facade weatherproofing common issues and how to solve them. So, as I said, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the common issues that we can find generally at site. I'm going to talk to you about design review and how we do project by project approach here at our company. Also the importance of having weatherproofing design and some case studies. And at the end of the presentation, I'm going to show you some of our A1 fire rated solutions that we are able to provide the market at the moment. So before we go to the solutions, I would like to bring you some of the situations or cases that have problems at site that we can commonly find in construction phases. And what this is about is lack of project detailing, lack of training, lack of supervision, and lack of support to the teams that we find usually at site. And the result is, as you can see here, in this number of pictures, poor interface sealing, membranes applied without having protection, incompatibilities between different materials, wrong perforation sealings. Sometimes you have material that is in stock, but they are not in a good condition. Also, you have membranes that are damaged by puncture and lack of protection. And there are endless problems that you can find at site. Here, for instance, you can also see some water accumulation or water that is stagnated, which will lead to system failure. Wrong perforation sealing, because most of the times teams at site don't know exactly how to deal with these kind of perforations. Lack of sealing in some areas that you can find as well. Use of incorrect accessories, which is very common. Very commonly, site teams don't know exactly what are the type of accessories to use in different systems when they are applying both breather membranes and vapor membranes. Interfaces that are not well closed, poor perforation sealing, like I said, and this is all showing difficulties. This is all adding difficulties to the application. And also, I believe, which is a very important factor here, also by working on exterior exposed to weather situations and lack of space, this will all lead to problems that I'm mentioning here. In addition to those, I would say water accumulated on slabs, poor corner ceilings on window systems, also membranes that are damaged, poor corner details, and interfaces joints that are not done properly. So I believe all of these pictures show you exactly the kind of problems that you can find at site. For instance, here on the top, on the left, on the right bottom part of these pictures, you can see membranes not being well applied here, and these kind of problems generally lead to future problems on those buildings where they are being applied on. And so how should we solve these kind of problems is the question, and this is something that we have been working quite hard at our company. And what we see, like I said, is a lack of detailing and lack of support throughout the different project phases, including when using solutions at site. And so we at Effisus work to mitigate these errors in projects. And here, for instance, is a very simple example on how to deal with this detailing that I'm talking to you about. We at our company like to be involved since the beginning of the process. So in a project phase, in the very early project phase. And what we do is that we work together with facade consultants and architects, and then with them we develop solutions that are going to be perfectly fit for the projects that they are working on. And so here, some of the things that we do is like where to place exactly the membrane, the breather membrane, the VCL membrane, what is the best possible position and where to place it. And also, for example, here we have 4 more examples of detailing and design reviews that we have done with our clients. For instance, what is the sealing detail for screw penetration through a vapor membrane? How to seal, how should we seal a vapor membrane to a concrete slab? What kind of adhesive should we use, or what kind of tape should you use on this particular situation? What is the detail for fixing the membrane to rear of PPC aluminum curtain wall, for instance? How should we deal with lapping over the interface detail between two sheets of vapor membrane? Also, what kind of tape should be used to seal our vapor membrane, for instance, to a multi-purpose backing board? So these are all questions that we answer in a very early stage of the project. And of course, this is a document that is going to be used not only by the consultants and the architects, but it will go to the main contractors and then further to the subcontractor, to the facade contractor that is going to apply exactly the products as we are showing here on our drawings. And so this, in addition to site training and supervision that we provide on every project that we are involved with. So here you can see pictures of those examples at site, our tapes being shown here for everyone to see. Then we have the details that we have developed for this specific project, and also our vapor membrane here being exposed to everyone to see what kind of products they are going to be applying. And so, as I said, most of the times at site, what we see at the moment is that manpower lacks quality sometimes, and sometimes one week there is one team applying the product, and then on the other week there is another team rotating, and so this leads to problems in terms of applying the product and in terms of making your facade more efficient. And also part of the consulting part that we do at our company, we do compatibility tests, because many times what we see is a lack of compatibility between products or between a membrane and a substrate, and sometimes we have surface adhesion problems. And what we do here, again, we analyze all of that, we do compatibility tests, and then we do a report, we develop a report on the surface adhesion, and we will tell you exactly if that product is fit for the kind of surface that you have, for the kind of white wall, if you say, that you have at site, and if this is going to really work well in the end. So this is something that we do as well. We evaluate all of these compatibilities between the products themselves that are going to be applied at site. In terms of the bespoke solutions that we develop here, in terms of prefabricated solutions, this is a project that we have developed, a residential project in London, and our client asked us to in conjunction with them, study what's the best possible solution that we can find for these kind of balconies here. And so after understanding the multiple perforation shapes and different angles that we had here in this project, and it would vary depending on the balcony floor level and also the elevation, we propose different prefab sleeves that you can find here in this picture. This was a very hard job for us to do, and we had to detail everything to our client. We had to develop also a mock-up here for them to apply and to see if it was really well done to fit the balconies here. And so in the end, we are assuring a better quality. We are improving the quality of your facade, and we are making sure that even if you had a poor quality workmanship at site, this is not going to matter, because these prefab solutions are going to be very perfectly fit for these projects here. This one is a different project that we have developed in Madrid with Armin Foster, and they had this crossing shaped here that they needed to apply an PDM on. And so, as you can imagine, to do this type of seal in a proper way at site, it would be almost impossible and with very poor quality, because there are many weak points here on this ceiling. And so having these 3D prefab pieces in all of the facade intersections allowed us to develop a perfect weatherproofing seal here. So I would say that prefabrication, of course, will reduce human errors at site, and this type of solutions will have a much faster installation time. And of course, this will be a lot less complex, and the installation time will be less, of course. And also, you will have confidence on the final result. So this is something that we have been seeing pushing from the part of the architects and consultants. Everyone is trying to push these kind of solutions to site, because, of course, this will mitigate many errors in the future of the projects. In terms of our A1 fire performance solutions here, what I would like to say to you today is that we can provide the market with A1 fire classified membranes and vapor membranes and breather membranes. On the external wall part, of course, is our breather FR membrane. And this is a membrane that needs, of course, to be vapor permeable. It needs to allow the facade to breathe. It needs to allow the vapor to migrate from the inside of the wall to the outside. And it also, at the same time, does not allow any water to come inside. On the other side, on the internal face of the facade, you have the vapor FR membrane, which needs to be vapor tight, of course. It doesn't need to, it will not allow any vapor to migrate from the inside to the outside of the wall. And this is very important because if you do allow this movement of vapor, what will happen is that you can have condensation inside your wall because of the difference of temperatures between the inside of the building and the outside, and then it will lead to mold growth, it will lead to corrosion of facade components and many other problems like I showed you before in the beginning of this presentation. Here you can see the mock-up here and the picture of the product. Also, I believe it is important to share with you that A1 fire classification is the best possible classification that we can achieve in terms of fire rating. And we have done so in the membranes, but also we needed to simulate the end use on a facade. And so when we are applying these membranes, of course, we do need adhesives, tapes, sealants, and all of that needed to be tested in order to understand exactly how everything would behave if they were exposed to fire. And so when we did this additional test, what we got is A2S1D0 for a whole system. So we are also very confident of our solution as a whole. Also, an advantage of using these accessories, in addition to what I said, accessories were included, of course, in this fire test. We have tested these with different substrates, mainly used in the UK, and so the accessories are compatible with many different substrates. And also, this is a less complex system because the accessories that are used for the external face of the facade are the same for the internal, so for the internal face. And so this is a lot less complex than using different types of materials. And of course, by working with Effisus, with all our envelope system, we have one system provider, one weatherproofing design, one project warranty, and this is all leading to quality control of your project. Again, here you can see how we deal with detailing. For instance, here you can see the breather membrane, and we have done these green lines here explaining exactly where the tapes would go. Here, how to deal with these perforations. Here in this specific perforation, we used our 2-bond DS tape, which is a tape that when you perforate through it, it will kind of glue your screw and not allow any water to go inside this perforation. And these are very weak spots on a facade, as it is very easy to understand, because imagine that you create one perforation on your wall and you're not going to seal them properly. Imagine the nightmare that you will have at your project when you find out in the future that there is water going inside your wall and you cannot find it where it is located at. And so by doing these details, by training, by doing site training and talking to the teams that are applying the products, of course, we are mitigating many future errors and many future mistakes at site. Also very important in terms of the VCL perforations. As you know, we can find many MEP perforations at site. And so if you don't know exactly how to seal them, you're going to compromise the quality and efficiency of your facade. Because if you don't seal these perforations perfectly, of course, there is going to be always some vapor migrating from the inside to the outside. And of course, you're losing efficiency, because imagine that you have a heat flat. If you allow this movement of air, you're losing efficiency in terms of heating. And so this is something that we take care here at our company, and this is something that we do on a regular basis with our clients. As I said here, you can see we have an A1 fire-rated breathable membrane and an AVCL membrane, and has a system as I said, simulating the end use on a facade scheme. We got A2, S1, D0. And here you can see how we have done our tests. For instance, on the bottom right corner, you can see the SPI scheme. We actually over-exaggerated in terms of perforations and circular perforations, NDP perforations, everything we could do. We tested it. And so we are pretty confident the way of how the products are going to behave in case of a fire event. And so this, I think, is very important to share with you. And if you are selecting or specifying any material, what I advise always is that you look at the fire tests, you look at how the membranes and the accessories were tested. Everything was tested as a system, because this counts as a system at site. In terms of certifications, of course, we also certified by all these associations here that I show you on this slide. BBA is coming at the end of the month as well. This is good news for us as well. So again, when you're looking for a material, just look at the certifications that the materials have. Also, in terms of the environmental certifications, BREEAM, for instance, we also have that certification on our products. I believe this is really important to share with you, and this is very important for you to look at when you are selecting materials to apply at your projects. To finish the presentation, I'll bring you a pretty quick case study here. This is the Royal Warwick Square project, a residential project that is located in London. So here we have our whole solution, our whole envelope solution. As you can see on the top, our breather FR membrane, in the middle our vapor FR membrane, and in the end here you can see the EPDM with a gasket, which is something that we can adapt to your project needs as well. So the possibilities for the EPDMs are quite endless, to be honest, like you saw on the two past examples and on this one. And here, of course, we have a very simple technical submission, one of the many technical submissions we have done for this project. And here, of course, we explained exactly where to place the membrane, how to seal the membrane with this specific substrate. Here is the concrete substrate. For instance, here on the external breather membrane, how to deal with the perforations, how we should deal with these specific perforations here. And so this is all we do here at our company. And this is, for me, very important to mitigate future errors and future mistakes when people are applying the products at site. Here you can see some pictures specifically of that project. Our breather membrane applied on the left picture, and on the right picture top you can see vapor, and on the bottom you can see our breather membrane and the EPDM membrane here applied as well on the interfaces. And what we advise, and you can see this perfectly here on this picture, is to cover as much as possible of the EPDM with our A1 breather solution, because it will behave a lot better in terms of fire resistance for your facade. Thank you very much for attending the presentation today. I leave you some of our contacts here: Miguel Silva, which is our technical director, João, our key account manager, and Nuno, myself, technical manager here at Effisus. If you do have any project that you're working on and you need some help in terms of detailing, in terms of finding bespoke solutions to your project, be sure to contact us. We are totally available for any doubt or any query you might have. And yeah, in 15 days, I would like to share with you as well, we are going to be in central London for ZEC Global Facades. And the next presentation that we are going to have is on that same day, on the 30th of September. And I hope you can join us as well. We are going to be sharing an online link for you to watch the presentation. Miguel Silva is going to present to you and going to talk to you more in detail about A1 fire solutions for facades. And so I count on all of you to be watching the presentation. Thank you very much for attending. Thank you.